Take a look at this tiled floor of an ancient cathedral. Those tiles have remained crack-free for centuries. Now, although they didn't have the modern technology that we have today, they understood that there was a need to uncouple or separate the field of tiles from the structure supporting them. Bryant, could you show us just how they did that?
Well, basically, this method was called the sand strata method, and it was tamped sand that was placed between the substrate and the tile. The tile covering now could move independently from the substrate. So it also distributed heavy loads to support the covering, and so we had support and uncoupling in one system.
That was great. But I've never seen in a modern house a great big thick layer of sand. How do we do this now? I have seen cement under floors.
Right. Instead of the sand strata method, what was more commonly used recently was a reinforced mortar bed. Now, this was made out of a thick sand and cement mixture. There was a slip sheet that was placed below the mortar bed, and this acted as our uncoupling membrane.
Okay. So it wasn't bonded to the structure at all.
Right, and the mortar that was used was mixed very dry and very lean, so it was very stable. And this way we had less potential for shrinkage and or curling.
So when did Thinset Mortar come into the picture? And just what is Thinset Mortar?
Well, Thinset Mortar is basically a sand and cement based product. Originally, these products were called dry set mortars, and they contain water retention agents that allow tiles to be set on the mortar bed without soaking the tiles first. Now, tile setters began to adhere directly to the substrates. We had thinner, quicker, less expensive assemblies, and we also had modified thinset mortars which were developed to adhere better to wood and other porous surfaces.
Okay, so we've evolved from the sand strata method to a mortar bed, now to tiles directly on the substrate. Did it work?
Well, it did give us a thinner and lighter assembly, but because there was a direct bond, we basically lost uncoupling. And without uncoupling, movement is transferred to the tile, which could often cause tile cracking.
So the challenge was to create uncoupling, but with thinner, lighter methods, and still giving the proper support. Okay, how do we achieve all of this in these thinner assemblies?
Well, it all started with a German tile setter named Werner Schluter. He found the solution with what we know today as the Dieter membrane. Now, the challenge was to make something incompressible, but at the same time absorb substrate movement. The Dieter membrane is adhered to the substrate with thinset, and then with the cut back cavities that are on the surface, these squares, they're filled with thinset mortar during the tile installation to support the tiles.
So they're like little pillars that go right down solid to
Or
the
little columns.
support underneath.
Absolutely.
The uncoupling membrane provides the ancient wisdom of uncoupling in a way that matches today's building practices and tile setting techniques. Or we could say that it's the uncoupling membrane that brings durability to tiles in modern lightweight construction.